Hello friends, this is Priyanka. Welcome back to my channel. Now in today's video, we are going to make this DIY toy in front of you. This is kind of a step-by-step tutorial so that it's easy for you to make it within, I think, 10 minutes or so. Yeah, so let's get started. Here you see me, I have a kitchen roll. You can use a toilet roll as well, however it would be too small. So a kitchen roll or an aluminum foil roll or something similar to that, which is a little bigger, would help you be more creative. If you do not have any such thing, you can always use a hard cardstock, a harder paper. That way you can still make this particular DIY toy. However, I do not know how stable. I mean, if you sit on it by mistake, it will just crumble. So it's best to have a base, and I would imagine it is best to have a round base so that at the end of it, the car which you saw at the beginning, it can move. So you saw me, I just added some adhesive so that the paper doesn't move and it's it's stuck to the kitchen roll. And after that I am snipping the sides of it. Now because my paper was slightly bigger than the kitchen roll, if you have the exact measurement, I mean, you can measure and do it. I got a bit lazy there, so I thought, it doesn't really matter, we can always fix the end. I didn't want any raw edges. So yeah, so I just added some glue strip in the end, and I just tucked them inside so both the sides are neat and clean. I'm sorry for my mobile camera being out of focus here. Thankfully we are just drawing some tracks or roads. So it shouldn't really matter much, but that's the thing, with a mobile phone. If you are creating and you're making a video on your own, you can focus on one thing at a time. So anyways, before I forget, I used double-sided tape to stick this paper onto the kitchen roll. I kept it stable with some normal scotch tape, and then I added double-sided just because my paper is 80 GSM. It's not very thick. Otherwise I would have used craft glue. I did not want the wet glue to show through the paper. If you have a harder paper, you can choose to use any kind of glue. So yeah, that was the reason why I used double-sided tape. So now my basic layout is done. I have the frame for it. I made my roads. Now I'm adding few details. Now you don't really have to make a road map such as I did here. I made a fountain, and I'll make some more monuments or buildings along the way, which are pretty which are the sites that you see usually, like trees. I'm drawing some trees here. Say for example, if you want to make a carnival theme, you can just add all the things that you would see in a carnival. I did add a few of those. But say if you are making just a mall, so you can add different counters or the cash register or something similar to that. I just wanted to make this quickly, so I did add a Ferris wheel, as you see here. Now it is going to be a bit challenging to draw on a curved surface, so you can choose to draw first on the paper. You can get a printout even, and then you can paste your paper. For me, that wasn't the case, just because of how big is your kitchen roll gonna be. If you have a thicker roll, then the pattern may not match. I wanted an endless loop. I'll show you in a minute. Once we start moving, the car can keep on going and going, and it doesn't really have to stop anywhere. So keeping that in mind, I decided to draw later rather than beforehand. So it's your choice. If your map is going to be very straightforward, it can even be just from one point to another. You don't really have to draw a road. You can just draw a line and you can still have the same effect. But I find with few details it's a little more interesting. So as you see, I just added the fountain. I added a cotton candy or an ice cream place, as you saw. One Ferris wheel, and here I am making an ice skating rink, again just to make it interesting. So when I did start playing with my son, I was like, okay, let's go to the rink. Okay, so he would quickly twist the car, and then actually he added a police car later. I didn't have a video for that. To me it was really cool. I mean, he got the idea, okay mama, let my police car chase your car, and that was really cool. So I think my take on it is that once you do such a craft and your kids see it, or for yourself also, I've made this quite a few times before, and it is only this time that I decided to do a tutorial for it. But every time my details are much more detailed. The plot is much more planned, and it is slightly, what do you say, I'm pushing the boundaries for myself, and my kids do enjoy that, so that's reward enough. So after the ice skating ring, I had some place which was blank, so I just added, I tried actually to add this amusement part, the ride. It didn't turn out as well as I wanted to. My lines were wavy because of the curved surface. I did add a car on top of it for you to sit inside and then take the ride. But I would have really liked it to be a 3D car rather than just a small drawing or a dash. But that's the only thing, that's the only limitation I see with this kind of a toy, because you have to twist the plastic so that your car can move. If there is any uneven surface, if there is a 3D popping out or something like that, it will not move as easily as it is moving right now. So once we are done with our entire map, so we can proceed forward for the car, or in my son's case, a police car. So I just drew a usual car. I want to make sure that it is not bigger than my road. So if you you can just look at what you have drawn and then just color according to the theme, and do, after cutting, check out the size once, because it would still work. But if your size is bigger than your road, then it just doesn't match perfectly. But yeah, as I said, kids would still love it. The time that you have given into it, to make it with them, say for example, oh my god, they would love it so much. Any craft I have seen, it's so rewarding when you do it with your kids. They are a part of the entire process, and they learn a lot as well, and it's such a good bonding time. So then I carefully did try to cut the car exact to its shape. It's okay if you do leave a little bit of white on the sides. It's okay, because it is a small picture. But if it is cut to the very exact, the colors and everything, it's just seamless. That's about it. So my car was slightly bigger, but then it's okay. I mean, it's not that big. So last comes the final thing, which is attaching the car to the DIY toy. Now I do not have any plastic, that I can use for this. So I just added my scotch tape, I just folded it on top of each other. And that way I kind of made my own DIY plastic. So once I just made sure that it is quite long, it's not too small, because there's no point, you do all that hard work and then your strip should be small. I mean, that's just wrong. So anyway, so I just added the plastic strip and I snipped the sides of it, just if there is any exposed adhesive. Then once I was happy where it should be placed, I just added another piece of scotch tape, and we have it. This is how the final product is gonna look like. Just make sure that the car is inside of the scotch tape, or in your case, if you have a plastic with you. just because I do not want it to bump into each other. That's why for a smooth finish I added another piece of scotch tape, and I'm done, and we can go to the fountain, to the Ferris wheel, or to the ice skating rink. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please do like, share and subscribe for similar videos. I will see you next time. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye bye.